In this section, we will solve quadratic equations by factoring. The zero product property states that if the product of two factors is zero, then at least one of the factors is zero. That is, if AB equals to zero, then either A equals to zero or B equals to zero, or both A and B are zero. Here's basically what this states. Let's say two things multiply to be zero. One of them is 5. The other one has to be zero because nothing else times 5 will equal to 0. So if two terms multiply to be 0, one of them has to be 0, or both have to be 0. Here are the steps to solving quadratic equations by factoring. Step 1, write the equation in standard form, which is ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. Factor the polynomial. Then use the zero product property to set each factor found in step 2 equal to 0. And then finally, solve each equation for the variable. Let's see what this looks like. First example. Solve x minus 4 times x plus 5 equal to 0. Now, this is already factored for us, so when two factors multiply to 0, the zero product property states that either x minus 4 must be 0 or x plus 5 must be 0, which means x equals to 4 if we add 4 to each side, or here if we subtract 5 from each side, x equals to negative 5. So our solution set is 4, negative 5. Now, if we do a quick check, this makes sense. Let's plug in 4. If we plug in 4 into this equation, we would get 4 minus 4 times 4 plus 5 equals to 0. 4 minus 4 is 0, and 0 times anything is 0. So if we plug in 4, we do get 0 as the answer. Okay, let's now plug in the second solution, negative 5. If we plug in negative 5, we would get negative 5 minus 4 times negative 5 plus 5, and we want that to be 0. Negative 5 minus 4 is negative 9. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0. Anything times 0 is 0, so we get 0 equals to 0, which again is correct. So this means that both positive 4 and negative 5 are solutions. Next example, let's solve x squared minus 16x plus 60 equal to 0. Now, since the coefficient of x squared is equal to 1, we don't have to factor by grouping. We don't have to use the x factor method. We simply list all the factors of 60, which are negative 1 and 60. Negative 1 and negative 60, negative 2 and negative 30, negative 3 and negative 20, negative 4, negative 15, negative 5, negative 12, negative 6, negative 10. Notice that these are both negative because the middle term is negative. So two numbers, if they multiply to positive but add to negative, they both have to be negatives. Now from these factors, the combination that adds to negative 16 is negative 6 and negative 10. So when we factor this, we would get x minus 6 times x minus 10 equals to 0. Let's make sure these numbers multiply to 60, add up to be negative 16. The zero product property tells us that if these two terms multiply to 0, then either x minus 6 equal to 0 or x minus 10 equals to 0. Solving each of these equations, we get x equals to 6, or if we add 10 here, x equals to 10. So our solution set is 6, 10. Okay, next equation. Let's solve 2x squared minus x plus 3 equals to 4x plus 28. First step, write the equation in standard form ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0, which means these two terms need to be moved to the left side, which means we would subtract 4x and subtract 28. Subtract 4x and subtract 28. This gives us 2x squared minus 5x minus 25 equals to 0. Now let's use the x factor because the coefficient of x squared is not 1, so that's when we have to use the x factor. On top of the x factor, we would put a times c, which is 2 times negative 25, that is negative 50. Here we put negative 5. The two numbers that multiply to be positive 50 add to be negative 5 are negative 10 and positive 5. So we rewrite this as 2x squared. The negative 5x will be broken up as negative 10x and positive 5x. The 2x squared and negative 25 stay the same. Let's factor by grouping. From the first group, we can take out the 2x. That's the GCF. We're left with x minus 5. From the second group, we take out the 5. We're left with x minus 5. And now they have a common factor of x minus 5. So if we take that out, we have x minus 5 times 2x plus 5 equals to 0. The zero product property tells us that if two factors multiply to be 0, then either x minus 5 must be 0 or 2x plus 5 must be 0. So if x minus 5 is 0, that means x equals to 5. If 2x plus 5 is 0, we subtract 5 divided by 2, x equals to negative 5 over 2, if we just solve that equation. So our solution set is 5 comma negative 5 half. Let's do one more. Let's solve 4x cubed plus 60x squared plus 200x equals to 0. So between 4x cubed, 60x squared, and 200x, our greatest common factor is 4x. Let's figure out what's left over. 4x cubed divided by 4x is x squared. 60x squared divided by 4x is 15x. 200x divided by 4x is 50. And that is equal to 0. Let's factor this trinomial. At each step, we have to bring down the greatest common factor, the 4x. We can't forget about that. Because the coefficient of the x squared is 1, we can just find two numbers that multiply to 50, add to 15. So that's going to be positive 10 and positive 5. And that equals to 0. Now in this case, we have three factors that multiply to 0. So the zero product property tells us that either 4x must be 0, or x plus 10 must be 0, or x plus 5 must be 0. If we solve the first equation, x equals to 0. Solve the second equation, x equals to negative 10. Solve the third equation, x equals to negative 5. So our three solutions are 0, negative 10, or negative 5.